All right, we're live.
Hello and welcome to the Entrefluential Live podcast. I'm your host, John Tanner.
And I'm your co-host, Sebastian Tanner.
This is episode 39. We are getting close to, if not already at 1 year. I need to go back and look and see. I was trying to track and see if we've met our year yet, but the thing is I started dating us on episode 3. So let me see here what it says, because I'm really curious. I want to make sure that we celebrate. I don't want to miss out on 1 year
We need
anniversary.
champagne.
Absolutely.
We need to pull out the stops.
Right? So let's see here if I can track it backwards. Okay, episode 3 was on May 24. So if you take so 2 more weeks before that, take 14 days, right? Because it was every week.
Yep.
So 24 minus 14 is May 10. So May 10 is our 1 year anniversary.
Yes, that's
right? That makes sense, right? May 10? So we're not there yet.
Wow.
Yeah, we're getting close. Okay.
2 months.
That's awesome.
Wow. The time really does fly by. I mean, it's crazy. And now we're on the second season.
It's unbelievable. So how was your day, man? I didn't even ask you that. I was curious about that. Sorry, just that was on the back of my mind, and I wanted to get that done. And you know how it is. Like I hate having things linger.
I know.
It's like an open loop, and I want to close that loop.
Yep.
And I have so many loops open right now. Like I don't need any more extra loops open.
I know. It's hard to get everything done. You're doing
Dude,
so much.
it is so freaking hard to get everything done. Like I'm just going bananas.
Sometimes you forget about some
Absolutely.
things. You know?
Yeah.
You gotta celebrate whatever you are getting done.
Yes.
You gotta be happy that you're getting that done, because I was just getting frustrated like today and yesterday, how I wasn't studying my Spanish enough. I wasn't reading enough. I was getting, honestly, I was pretty pissed off at one point. And Michaela was like, you can't be so upset because you're working your butt off.
Yeah.
So I had to be.
You have to give yourself grace.
Exactly. So that helped me like put things into perspective. Like I am working my hardest.
And even though you have these goals and aspirations, you are where you're meant to be right now. And you have to understand, like, just okay. And then you just make an assessment.
Peace, find my peace,
and then make an assessment like,
well,
like, okay, let me reassess my time, my calendaring.
Yes.
And is my day optimal?
Right. Exactly.
Right. And then if you track, like, how am I spending my day? What can I do to make my day more productive? Can I wake up earlier? Can I go to bed earlier? Can I stay up a little bit later?
Yeah.
Where can I squeeze it in? And what needs to get done? And it's so funny that we're talking about that, because that's our mindset tip of the day is goal setting.
Oh,
I love when that synchronicity happens, man. That is so freaking awesome, man.
You know what I actually do? I'll show you. It'll be hard to show our listeners, but
but they can hear us, though.
Exactly.
So that's okay.
Exactly. So basically, what I do is to track every single day.
Yes.
I create a to-do list.
Oh, good.
Every day, like of the week.
Okay, great. Wow.
Just every single day of the week, and I put like the year 2023.
Great.
That way, I can look back on it in 2024. What did I do this past year? Because when it was time for me to do my taxes and stuff this year, and I saw how little I was getting back, I realized how little I actually worked this last year because of everything that I had going on with the fire and whatnot. So it really motivated me to like, okay, when the year recap comes, when we're heading into the next new year again next December, and we're looking back on what we accomplished this year, I want to be able to say that I've accomplished a lot more than I ever have. Yeah. I want to be able to accomplish more every single year. So it motivated me to, now I'm going to track what I'm doing every single day and see. So this can kind of help me gauge, this is my goal setting right here. So these are my check marks. So I put my water intake for every single day. To see how much water I'm getting. Like these days weren't great, but this day I had 12 bottles of water that day.
Wow.
So I can really track everything.
That's really
in this
nice,
day,
man. Very detailed.
Yes, and so sometimes like this day I didn't do everything. I studied my Spanish, I checked it off. I didn't read, but I did the double shift, so I checked that off. There's some days where I did a lot more, so I was just doing back and biceps. This one day I checked it.
Wow.
Doing everything, uploading files to Anchor for our audio files for the podcast.
Yeah.
So I checked that. Reading the book, I checked that.
Yes.
Studying my Spanish, I checked it. So this is how every day I gauge.
Let me see that. So here's the thing, though. Like, okay, look, the fact that you're even doing this much detail, and I love the little emojis.
The water emoji.
The water emoji is fantastic, man, because it gives it more character, and if it's fun for you, you'll want to do it more frequently, right? Which is a good tip. I don't know if you can see this, guys, on the screen, but he's got. Well, no, you can't. So sorry, guys, but And then people are listening anyways on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
He's got little water emojis next to his water intake. So, and he has it numbered, like 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles. Right? They're little drops of water. Anyway, he has all of his bullet points here, which I love. And then he has this time where he needs to like be at work. He's got 3 p.m. On another day, it's 11 a.m. So, but I don't see what I don't see is I don't see times of when you're going to do the Spanish. So like it's kind of a little bit too random. So like if you put a specific time when
that's
you're
how
gonna
I
do
can make it better.
Right.
Yes.
And so like Ben Franklin had like he was one of the earliest people that we could have a catalog from early America.
Yeah.
Where he actually time blocked everything, even his sleeping hours. He time blocked everything from the moment he woke up to the moment he went to bed, the time that he was sleeping. It was all time blocked. And so, like, maybe that could help you get a little bit more focused.
Absolutely.
You know
I used to do that.
And then Brendan Burchard,
Brendan
Burchard has another step. So he uses alarms on his phone. So he sets reminders, and it'll ring at a specific time. Like, if he needs to drink water bottle at 2 p.m., it's going to ding. The alarm will go off at 2 p.m. to remind him to drink the water. Right?
Right.
And he uses that for positive affirmations as well.
That's great.
Yeah, so like
that's great. That way all day long you're just getting your reminders. You need to be doing this.
Exactly.
And then feeding the affirmations is feeding his mental. That's why I showed you.
Yep.
So on my phone now,
I love the positive affirmations.
Under my time, I have 2 affirmations, and look now it says I'll share it with you guys just because
so that you can hear those.
At 7:43, it's showing me when you run out of excuses, you'll run into motivation.
Oh, I love that.
That's like when you're fighting for it and you have no more excuses left. What's your motivation? What's going to get you to that next level? What's your drive? That's my first motivational message. And then the second one, it says, if you're lost, you can always be found. So that one's
great.
A little bit deeper.
That's great too. I love that.
It's cool.
Don't worry about getting lost. I love it.
Yeah.
It's like don't worry about getting lost. You can
always be found.
You can always be. You can always be.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well,
my God, definitely it is something, but most of the time you will.
Yeah.
And you can always generally ask for directions.
Yeah.
So like 99% of the time that's there's really not like it's our own anxiety that causes stress, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's our own worry.
Yeah.
You know, where our mindset is. You know, like I like the idea of just getting lost on purpose and just flowing, you know, going with the flow. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just to live in the moment.
Exactly.
Right? Which is mindset, you know, be in the present.
Yep.
It's a gift. Just to be here. So that's awesome, man. All right. So before we dive into our physical tip of the day, and by the way, if you're new here, we go through physical, mental, spiritual tip of the day. From the spiritual part, we do it from a Christian worldview because there's all kinds of spirituality out there. And we're not judging you. You be what you want to be. Yeah. We just presented what works for us, what we love. So we share that from the spiritual side, from a Christian worldview. And then the fourth part is entrefluential tip of the day. So there's 4 tips: physical, mental, spiritual, entrefluential. And then so for today, our entrefluential tip of the day is going to be, I'm going to talk to you about something that I'm like really excited about, which is shipping containers and using them as a primary residence.
Oh,
and then
you showed me.
Yeah. So like I'm really stoked about that, and so like we'll talk about that on the last part of the show. So you have we got a text message from Ricky, my friend Ricky Alfaras, the guy who bought me that guitar, one of my best friends. Yeah. He sent me his exercise, so Sebastian's going to review that now, and for the as a guest
like a guest trainer.
I was going to say instead of having him as like like a guest share, a guest speaker, he's like a guest texter.
He's our guest texter today.
Yeah, guest texter of the day.
He's showing us his Monday workout.
Yeah.
So it looks like he starts off with doing lat pull downs. It looks like he does 3 sets of 13. And by the way, guys, we're sharing you his workout. You guys are welcome to try it yourself and see how it works for you. He shared it with us, so now we're sharing it with you guys. So feel free to go and try exactly what he does, and then feel free to mix it up however you want to. So he starts off with the lat pull down, 3 sets of 13 reps. The first set he did. Do we need to share that part? Or we can just
70 pounds. the second 85 pounds, and then the third set 85 pounds as well. So like
So
he increased it by 15 pounds.
Exactly. And the weight it doesn't matter what the weight is for anyone, like wherever you're at is where you're at. So be comfortable with that. And for what he did is he said set one, shut off with 70. So it's like he looks like he's warming up with that, getting the juices flowing, getting the muscles warmed up. And then the second set, he's going to kick it up a notch and go up to 85 pounds.
Right. And
then he did 13. He said that he barely got there, but he stuck it out. And he did the full 13, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then on the third set, he stayed on 85, and then he did a set of 10 reps for it.
Yeah.
So he went down 3, but he still stayed at the 10 rep range, and that's really
pushed
good.
Out as much as he could.
Exactly. And if you're at 10 to 12, then you're doing that's higher reps. Okay. So that was great. And then his next, 10 to 12, and then like 6 to 8 could be even like 6 would be like at a lower, like you stay at that way, and then 8 you can move it up a little bit. So that was excellent.
That's definitely muscle building, right?
He did 10 reps. I mean, he's toning right there.
Toning,
he's doing those high reps. He's he can be doing both. You can be building muscle and toning, but with the higher reps, you're doing a little bit more toning.
Okay.
Exactly. So he hit it for 10, which is great. And then the next set, he went to lateral raise.
Okay.
And so he used the 15-pound dumbbells, and this is the first set he did 18 reps. And then the second set he did 15 reps, and then the third 15 reps, and then
12 reps.
He did 12 reps on the fourth set. Yeah. And then the next one he went into military press with dumbbells. He did 3 sets of
25 pounds.
25-pound dumbbells.
12 repetitions the first time. 10 repetitions the second time. And 10 the third time. Right?
Or 8 the third time.
Oh, 8 the third time.
And then down to 8.
Okay.
And
then, did he reduce the weight?
He kept it at the same weight.
Oh, he kept
it at the same weight, and then on the third set, he did it with 8, and I'm assuming because if you're gonna the second set, he did it with 10 reps. Yeah. Right. He did 10 reps for the second set.
10 and 8.
Yeah, exactly.
12, so he declined.
Exactly, a little bit declined, and also so you can keep the form good too.
Yeah.
You go lower while maintaining good form.
Muscles are getting stressed.
They're getting tired, exactly. So he just reduced the number of reps a little bit. Yep. That way you can still keep the good form.
Okay.
And then the next one, it looks like he went to sitting pull-ins. So I haven't tried this yet. I want to try this. He did 2 sets of the inner lightweight for 15 to 20 reps, so you can feel the burn. And then the second set was the outer reps.
15 reps.
So next time we're gonna need him to explain this one for me. Yeah, because I haven't even tried this. That sounds super cool. I want to learn. I'm gonna need him to show us next time. But it looks like he did 15 reps for the outer. For the outer.
And what's a pec fly? What is
that?
The
pec fly machine.
Oh, is that the machine where you go like this? Oh yeah.
You have like this, and you also have it like this here. Yep. So he did the pec fly machine. I love that.
That's for cut.
I love that one. Oh yeah, you get the definition right in the middle.
Oh yeah. Do that. We don't have that machine in our gym.
I know. I wish. They need to freaking upgrade it.
I know. Like when I get my farmhouse, I'm gonna have to buy an extra unit to make a gym.
A little gym. Yes, exactly. So he did the pec fly machine. He did the first set with 80 pounds for 15 reps, so you could feel a nice burn. Yeah. The second set, he did 90 pounds, so he increased it by 10. He went to 90 pounds. He did 10 reps. And then on the third set, he went up to 100 pounds, and he did 10 reps. And then he finished it off with...
reps were sloppy, he said. Lucky sevens.
Lucky sevens after that.
Yeah. Do you know what lucky sevens are?
I don't know what lucky sevens.
So like you take the bar... for curls.
Oh, is that when you do half 7 and
so
then
you go
do full 7?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So 7
here, 7 up, like here, and then all the way up,
7
down.
Oh, that is really good.
Yep.
That's really good.
Lucky
so he did 3 sets of those with 30 pounds.
Yes. He's good at working out. He used to be on the football team in Southridge.
Yeah? Wow.
Which they were the #1 team back in the day. Man.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he finished it off with the dip machine, 2 sets of 20.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's a great workout right
He's
there.
getting diesel, man.
Oh,
He's getting stocked up. Good for Ricky.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so then the next thing is, we'll come back to that. I want to keep that here. The pictures of the property is so cool. And then here's another one that's so freaking dope. Look at
Some of them, I saw one that looked like the Cullen's house from Twilight.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah.
Did I send you that picture?
Maybe you did.
Yeah,
maybe
probably,
you did.
yeah. I love it. That's what I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to do both of them. Like I'm gonna do all of these because they're like so cool.
I know. We will.
Okay.
We will.
Yeah. They're gonna be investment
We'll
properties.
get there.
Man.
Yep,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Starting this year. I'm starting this year, man.
We'll select certain of our subscribers, and we're gonna be like, hey, you want
we're
to
gonna make videos of it while we're doing it too.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
would you like to write one of these? Well, you can.
Absolutely.
We're gonna do a giveaway, and you're gonna get some.
That'd be really cool, man.
Giveaway,
really,
but
really
you're still
cool.
gonna have to pay the rent.
All right. So that covers the physical tip of the day. So the mindset tip of the day, again, go back to Jack Canfield and the success principles. Principle number 7 is the unleash the power of goal setting. Mm-hmm. Principle 7 from the Success Principles book, unleash the power of goal setting, which is absolutely perfect because that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about goal setting. Now, you can take goal setting and you can look at it from a micro level and a macro level, and I recommend that you do both and somewhere in between as well. Now, let me explain what I'm talking about here. Goal setting on a daily basis should be done the night before. When you go to sleep at night, you should write down 3 things that you absolutely are going to achieve the next day, because your mind will already start working on a solution to any problems that you have to solve in your sleep. That's where you go to your creative imagination. Yes. And I believe that you communicate with God because God lives inside of us. Again, we're coming from a Christian worldview, right? So we believe that God lives inside of us. And so we're able to communicate with him when we're sleeping in that dream world, and he gives us instructions. He lets us download instructions, right, for us to utilize, which is a great thing. Sometimes he gives us dreams that are to teach you a lesson. Let me give you an example, okay? And I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I'm going to admit it anyways because I feel like transparency is very important. One night I had a dream where I was walking along and I saw somebody get beat up. There's some other people there, and I just kept walking. I didn't stop to go help. And then when I woke up, I thought about that dream and I was like, what are you trying to show me here, God? I get what you're trying to show me. You're showing me that I cannot be a coward, that I need to step up and do the right thing even if it's uncomfortable. Yeah, in the dream, I was worried that if I went and intervened, I was going to get my butt kicked, maybe even killed, right? But I should have done it anyway. And so he was showing me where my heart is in that dream, that I need to not be a coward and I need to stand up for people who are getting hurt. And that's a strong call to action for all of us, right? Yeah. And we're missing that a lot in our society because we've been trained to look the other way. Oh, don't get involved. Oh, don't look at them. Oh, don't go in there. Don't say anything. Just mind your own business. Yeah. But you know what? Our society is a mess right now because people have been minding their own business too much and not stepping up when wrong things are happening. The only way we're going to change and make it better is if we stand up to wrong actions by doing the right actions. You have to counteract the bad things with good things, okay? And sometimes it's going to be ugly and messy, and sometimes we might get hurt or injured, but that's the right thing to do. Yeah. And so, like, your conscience is talking. I think my conscience was talking to me. God was talking to me through my conscience. I think, what is your conscience? It's your connection to God, right? How do you know right and wrong? Mm-hmm. It's because your conscience. What is that? It's our connection to God. At least that's how I explain it to myself.
Consciousness is
I understand it.
We know everything's going on. That's going on right now.
Yeah. That's consciousness.
That's definitely connecting.
And consciousness and conscience, though. Conscience is like that.
Yes.
I'm talking about conscience.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Yes,
what's that inner feeling that's telling you what's right and wrong?
Yeah.
How do we know what's right and wrong? Well, who's to say what's right and who's to say what's wrong? Right. I believe we all know what's right and wrong internally, conscience, because it's our connection to God. Yeah. And he's right.
Do something bad, you feel it.
Evil is
wrong.
Inside,
you feel it.
Yes.
If someone does something bad to you,
it's like a little child. They go, oops.
Yes.
You got your hand in the cookie jar?
Exactly.
Like, oops. How do you know you did wrong? I didn't tell you did wrong. What's your reaction like that for?
Exactly.
Because internally you're built with right and wrong inside of you, It's just like what your equilibrium is, when you're balanced and not balanced, Anyway, so I share that with you to say, analyze your dreams. I'll circle back to the goal setting. Yeah. But you can analyze your dreams. I think your dreams are given to you for a reason, and that's to give you life lessons, okay? You don't have to learn everything in your physical waking moments. You can learn in your dreams as well. So be cognizant of that. Be aware of that. Okay, now going back to the goal setting part, when you go to sleep at night, if you write your 3 things down, then you can start working and processing that information. So when you wake up the next day, you're ready to take action. Maybe you have an intuition a new idea that pops in your mind
Yes.
to solve the problem that you were thinking of the day before, right? Or at a minimum, you wake up and you're ready to go. You're just I'm up when I wake up in the morning, like, okay, I got 3 things I got to go do today.
Energy.
Yes, and you're excited and pumped up to go take care of those things, right?
Yeah.
And if you have
the initiative.
Absolutely, especially if you have a long-term goal that excites you, right?
Yes.
Which is what this is for me right now. This thing excites me so much.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, like, one of the things I've always wanted to do since I played Monopoly as a kid is to be a real estate investor. I love real estate. I'm tired of doing like the real estate sales process, but I still love it, and I want to manage my business and I want to grow my business. But I love investing so much more, and I want to get to the plateau, to the point like I've kind of lost my ability to do that. But now I have a new idea of how I'm going to do it. Yeah. So like really exciting because like investing in real estate is really expensive, and you have to have really great credit. You have to have cash. There's schemes to do it in different ways, but like at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you got to be able to step up with cash, to be able to resolve it. But there's other ways to get in, and so like I'm really excited about those creative ways to get in. And we're talking about one of those today. But think about your long-term goals. Like I look at mine on a daily basis. I have huge goals. Like I want to own hotels, Hotel Sebastian.
Oh yeah.
I want to own with nightclubs called the Merriwick, jazz clubs, with spas called Somptueux, which means lavish in French. Oh. And then I have Airbnb properties along the coastline in Florida that I want to do, and then built businesses, right? So like owning a law firm, owning my real estate company, and expanding that out nationwide. These are big goals that I have. So like all of this is investments, commercial real estate investments, residential real estate investments. So like having these goals, and this is my point. Visualize what you want in your future. And I look at my future, like where I want to see myself in 20 years from now. I look at them on a daily basis every morning. Mm-hmm. I read them on a daily basis as if I already own them. Yes. So like I want to tell you that you can visualize your future all the way to the end, and you should. What are all the things that you want to accomplish before you die? That's your major life goals. Now scale it back. What do you need to do in the next 20 years to accomplish those things that you want to have done before you die? Right? What's your 20-year plan? Then after your 20-year plan, take it down to 10 years. Then take it down to 5 years. Then take it down to 1 year. Mm-hmm. What do you need to do in the next 12 months to get those things on the way, to make that traction, to make that progress? Right? You're leveling up as you go. What can you do in the next 6 months, 3 months? What can you do in the next 30 days? Yeah. Right? What's your goals for this week? All of it, looking with a forward vision of where you're going, right? That's your direction. And then now, what can I do today to get towards those goals, okay? Yes. So if you go from the far end and work your way backwards, now, are things going to change? Absolutely. I can show you my journey to success over there. I can show you the things that I have accomplished and the things that I haven't accomplished. And man, I've had to make modifications, write scribble on stuff. But when I look back, I can say, wow, way back in the beginning over there, I said, earn a master's degree in hotel management. Boom, did it. On there it says, earn a law degree. Boom, did it. Yeah. Did I open up my own law firm yet? No. still waiting for that one to happen. That one's got pushed off by 4 years already. Still working on that. But you know what? You make modifications and you keep working towards your goals. And when you look backwards, you're like, wow, I've really accomplished a lot on my list.
Yes. You don't realize you do it in the moment until you look back on it.
And it's important to track it. And a lot of people don't track their lifetime goals. I have on there to open up a beach resort. Not there yet, but it's on the list. So like start with your big goals and work your way backwards. Yeah. And then your 1 year goals are the ones that are like most important. You have to keep a close eye on that, because right now everything changes so fast. As a matter of fact, what will happen in 10 years from now, like the technology changes, that your goals will probably change dramatically based on just technology alone and how it implements our lives in the next 10-year cycle. But it's good to always begin with the end in mind, and then plan your work and work your plan. Yeah, plan your work and work your plan. So goal setting is critical in order for you to achieve success.
Yeah, exactly. You plan for it and then be ready for the obstacles along the way and just adjust, readjust
Pivot.
all the time, pivot. Because the road's going to be a little bit more windy than you think it will.
Absolutely.
It always will.
And that's where focus comes in.
Yes.
Right? Meditation, I do meditation every morning, again, because are you living in the present?
Right.
If you're living in the past, that's a dangerous place to be.
Yep.
Unless you just want to entertain yourself for a few minutes. If you're living in the too far in the future, then you're daydreaming, and that's useless as well. I mean, it's okay for a little bit, right? Because you kind of want to visualize your goals, but you can't live in there all the time. You got to get out of that and live in the present, right? So you need to be focused, right, and aware of what's going on around you.
Exactly.
Right? To know how to pivot. What's going on? Do you see a change? Is there a rush for the banks because like that one bank in California closed down, Silicon Bank closed down? Is everybody going to take out their money and freak out like the Great Depression?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Or, you know, is that what's going on or is that not what's going on? I mean, like, be aware of what's going on around you and figure out how you're going to pivot accordingly, you know?
Exactly.
I didn't see everybody go run to the bank today. Everybody was just out and about doing their thing. So I think everything's okay. Yeah. Don't worry about all the naysayers and the fear mongers, you know, like, exactly. You know, like the Chicken Little, the sky's falling, the sky's falling, you know? Hey, maybe one day the sky's going to fall, but you know what? Live in the present. Look and see what's going on around you. Be calm. Don't have your backup plan.
Don't freak out until you see it with your own eyes.
There's no reason to freak out unless there's a real reason to freak out. Yeah. Like, I mean, we already learned, like, there was no reason to rush out and buy all the toilet paper.
Oh my gosh. COVID?
You know what I mean? Hope you, for those of you guys who stocked up on toilet paper, I hope you enjoyed that. You know,
sometimes I had to go to the gas station, like what would be open, and see if their bathrooms are open in certain moments.
Really? Because
when I was, when I was living with my brother.
Oh man, that's rough. Oh my God! Well, when you were living with your brother, that's tough, man.
Rough moments.
I mean, everybody should have enough toilet paper in their house. That's I thank God we live in an age where we have toilet paper. Because like, think about 100 years ago. I don't even know. Like, I mean, I'm sure, they probably had toilet paper 100 years ago because we're talking about early 1900s. But what about 200 years ago, man? Like, I mean, you watch these movies like The Last Kingdom and stuff. You're like, wow, that's so cool. These medieval knights and stuff. Yeah. But they were stinky people because they didn't have toilet paper. They didn't have bidets. I mean, they probably had some kind of like, you know, if you were royalty,
washed up in the river.
If you were royalty, you had some kind of bidet. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, stinky people. Thank God we don't live in that time.
I know.
Anyways, sorry to go down that rabbit hole. All right, so that's all I have for the mindset tip of the day is goal setting.
That's great.
Use goal setting. Yeah,
goal setting, and then rolling with the punches while you're doing that.
Absolutely.
Along the way, pivot.
Yep. Make your goals, monitor it, use times. Times.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Like lock it down. That way you're like, okay, then you commit to your schedule. Exactly. And if you're not, like if you mess up because something happens, give yourself grace.
Exactly.
Don't beat yourself up. And then just be aware of it. Because here's the most important thing about that, right? Yeah. Are you breaking your schedule consistently? Right. That's a problem. Right? Why are you breaking your schedule consistently? What's stopping you from going to the gym every morning?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you say you're going to be at the gym at 9 o'clock in the morning, why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
Figure out your why, you know? So it's all a matter of like observing, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Observing.
If it becomes a habit, then it's an issue.
Right.
If it's every now and then, okay.
If
one day, 2 days, you've been working hard, but if it becomes every single day, then that's when you've just given up on
Exactly.
that.
Like we started our show 5 minutes late today. It happens every now and then. It's not a consistent thing. That it happens all the time. If it becomes a consistent problem, then we need to start planning ourselves ahead of time, you know? Yeah. But if it's just once in a while, then you can give yourself some grace because things happen, you know? Exactly. So like that's just an example. So and sorry we started late, but it was only 5 minutes.
All right, so that was good. That was great. We got our physical tip of the day done, mental tip of the day. Yep. Now we're on to the spiritual tip. And we're going to be reading a summary of the book of Jeremiah today.
Right on. I love that. And it was written by David Jeremiah, so that's even better.
Dr. David Jeremiah.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So it goes like this. If you feel you live in discouraging times, this is great because this is what we're going through. This is what we've been going through.
Seriously.
It's all connecting today.
It is, right? There's a lot of synchronicity.
Yes, exactly. That's how you know you're on the right track.
Absolutely.
You know,
love that.
So, If you feel you live in discouraging times, which some of you may feel like you are right now, I know I have been, you'll sense a partner in the prophet Jeremiah. He lived during the final stages of his nation of Judah, and despite his long and labored efforts, few people responded to his message. Yet he was faithful, and his sermons have sustained the Lord's people for 2,500 years. The first chapter records God's call for Jeremiah to be a prophet. Chapters 2 through 51 are a collection of his sermons, and chapter 52 records the tragic fall of Jerusalem. Not everyone lives in times of revival and spiritual prosperity. Sometimes we're called to hard places or hard times. The Lord warned Jeremiah his ministry would often fall on deaf ears. That's saying something, you know. Like, and for him to keep doing it, knowing that, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
To like, no one's listening to you. You're speaking out, and you're trying to spread your word, because that's his ministry, right? That's him trying to spread his love for God, just spreading the message, and no one's listening.
To direct people on the right path.
He's trying to get people to go on the right path, and nobody cares.
Right.
You're falling on deaf ears, and no one's even listening.
Which is like what's going on right now in our society.
Yes, exactly. But he said, "Speak to them all that I command you. Do not be dismayed before their faces. For behold, I have made you this day a fortified city and an iron pillar, and bronze walls against the whole land. They will fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you, for I am with you." Jeremiah 1:17 through 19. This sounds discouraging, but truly it is comforting. We're not responsible for how the culture reacts to the message of Christ, and we have seen here ourselves some reactions.
Harsh reaction.
We've seen some harsh reactions, a couple now.
Yeah.
And anyways, we're simply responsible to be faithful in doing as the Lord commands. He alone can manage the results. So you do your thing. Don't worry about what's going to happen. Let him worry about it.
Don't worry about the results.
Exactly. Let him worry about the results. I like that. I like that. Because it usually gives you motivation to keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Don't worry about what's going to happen, because there's going to be.
And just know that you're doing what God calls you to do, and that's all you can do.
Exactly.
Just be obedient to God.
Exactly. You know, I had a manager one time that told me, I was frustrated one time, and he told me, just control what you can control.
Right, which is yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Anything else that happens, don't be worried about that in the process.
Yep.
So he alone can manage all. If our messages seem to fall on hardened hearts, it's comforting to know Jeremiah faced the same thing. Yeah. Yet God used him in ways he couldn't imagine. Yeah. Even today, the Lord speaks to us through this poignant book.
Intense.
Through intense. It is an intense book. Yeah. Through this poignant book. Our labor in the Lord is never in vain.
That's right.
So that's crazy, because he went through the same exact thing.
Yeah, think about this. Maybe our point isn't to make them convert. Maybe the point of it, him using us as a microphone, right, to convey his emotions, his thoughts, and his feelings about it, is to say, hey, I used John and Sebastian to let you know that you were wayward, and to get and start doing right activities. Right? Because everybody has to go to judgment. Right. Everybody's going to face the seat of judgment. Same thing with Jeremiah. When he was talking to the people and they turned him down, guess what? One day they're going to be sitting in front of God, and he's going to open up the book of life, and he's going to say, look, you didn't listen. Yeah. You know? I have to judge you according to your actions. Yeah. So sometimes it's just like, hey, this was my messenger. You know? Yes, right. Maybe our duty is just to be a messenger, whether it be good or bad, changes or not. I mean, I'm always looking for with hope that somebody's going to listen to it and have a positive change from it, benefit from the information that they hear, to live a better life, you know, to have rewards that come along with living that better life, you know?
Yeah, and you know, sometimes and I've learned from this from my own experience, sometimes even with things that you've taught me in life, the first time you get the message, you don't really get the message.
Yeah, so sometimes you need to hear it 2 or 3 times before the light bulb goes on.
Exactly. So we might just be that
first time, or maybe the second time.
Maybe the third, or 7th, or however many it takes
whatever
someone
it
to really
is.
click in their head.
We just, you know,
all we can do is
we just do our part. You know, we're just playing our part in the in the big scheme of things.
Exactly.
And that's what y'all need to do too, is play your part in the big scheme of things.
Yep.
Do good, not evil. That's all.
Exactly. It's not hard.
It's not hard.
It's not hard. Sometimes
well, we're all
be,
tempted. We all live in the flesh, man. The flesh is loud.
Exactly. So sometimes it can be.
Give yourself some grace for that too.
Exactly.
You know, as long as you're doing,
it's not always roses.
As long as you're trying to do your best, you know,
exactly.
at the end of the day, he says you're counted by your fruits, right?
Yeah.
And a tree bears fruit. What kind of fruit are you bearing? Are you bearing good fruit majority of the time? Exactly. Even a tree that gives you great fruit, sometimes they fall and they rot on the floor.
Yep.
So sometimes you're gonna have some bad fruit,
rotten fruit on your tree.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you have a fruit that has a worm in it. You know, it just happens, man. Life happens. Sometimes the bugs come and eat your fruit. You know,
exactly.
But just do your part.
Don't let all of your fruit get eaten in the process. Don't become jaded by certain things that happen to you.
There was a fig tree that Jesus cursed because it wouldn't bear fruit, and it was cursed forever because it wouldn't give him fruit. So like, don't be it's a parable. You know, don't be a bad tree, you know, like you need to bear good fruit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I agree. And so our key theme of the book of Jeremiah is that God will be our God and we must be his people, going where he sends us and speaking whatever he tells us, regardless of visible results. So I
like my
dream. I love that.
Right? It was like my dream.
Wow.
Right? Like regardless of if it looks like your outcome, you've got to submit to God's will, and do what's right, even if it looks like the results are going to be bad. Do it anyway. This is great because it ties in. He was worried about all these people attacking him, and you know, he's like, "I got an army around you, man. Just you know what I'm saying?" He's like, "Don't worry. Like I'm
not trying to." What did he say? That was actually great. He said, "They will fight against you, but they shall not prevail against you."
Right, because he's got your back.
Exactly.
He's like, "I got your front, your back, your sides. I'm all around you." Yeah, you can see my invisible army, but they're all around you.
Yeah, that's badass.
I know.
That's honestly pretty cool.
I know.
It's like the Book of Eli.
Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Dude.
Stop the bullet. And stop the bullet. That was.
I mean, crazy. Like if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. You know, like at the end of the story, he died, but he took the message. He shared the Bible. They transcribed the whole thing.
He did what he needed to do.
But you know, he was invincible for like 90% of the movie because God was with him. You know, it was
amazing.
Yeah, everybody has a purpose. Like you just live by your purpose, man. Just let it happen.
That's great. So our key challenge: wave off any discouragement that enters your life. Choose instead to be encouraged in the Lord. He will faithfully bless you. He will bless your efforts for his glory.
Amen.
Our key verse, but the Lord said to me, do not say, I am a youth, for you shall go to all to whom I send you. And whatever I command you, you shall speak. Jeremiah verse 1:7. Mm-hmm. Our key prayer, Lord, grant me courage and boldness to share Christ with my family, friends, and neighbors, and to remember that any work that I do for you will not be in vain.
Amen.
So that's pretty cool. You know, bring me the boldness to do it because so many people are afraid to speak up with what they believe in.
Yep.
And whatnot, you know. And,
and we have to have courage.
Exactly.
Do the right thing.
And
there was a movie called Do the Right Thing. Go watch that movie.
You know, actually, there was a book, a writing contest that I did a long time ago
called Do the Right Thing. Wow.
Yeah.
It's true, man, and it's like there's so much bad messages out there to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
It's so prevalent in our society. Like very few people really want to speak up, and then for those of us who do speak up, they're like, "Oh, but you're like a nerd. You're like a Christian nerd.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like one of those radical Christians or whatever. You know, like one of those Bible churchy persons. You know, like they just want to throw labels at you and like make you and put you down because they don't want to stop doing the wrong things that they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, don't let that stop you from doing what you got to do. Because if you're doing what God tells you to do, you're in the right. Besides, you're in the right anyways. Because good is better than evil. It really is.
And they also don't know you either. Yeah.
And they're not feeding you.
Know you.
They're not feeding you.
Who are they to speak on you when they don't even know who you are?
Exactly.
They can say you're this basic, whatever. I don't even go to the traditional church every Sunday, but I still believe in God. And I want to start watching more videos. I love Dr. David Jeremiah. I want to start watching his sermons every single Sunday, his messages. That's something I want to do more. I've been busy with my schedule, but just because of that, and just because I'm not like a traditional, you're gonna assume, like he's saying, like, oh, you're just some nerd. You believe in God and whatever, and Christian and this and that, and you probably are super self-righteous. I've seen a lot of self-righteousness in the church, and that turned me off from being around people like that, because it's kind of fake. If you're truly a Christian, you should be humble enough not to be judging anyone, because I saw a lot of judging and comparisons in the church, and comparison is the thief of joy. So you're worried about comparing yourself to how you're receiving the message over someone. I mean, it was like a competition to who really got closer to God or something like that. It was the strangest thing I could have ever seen among the kids around my age, because it's like you want to seem cool, and I think a lot of kids will just go to make friends.
Or hook up.
Or in that too. And that's that's just crazy, because you gotta be going there for the right reason. So just
a lot of hypocrisy. But at the end of the day, when people come into the church, they come in smelling like in the Bible says this. Some people will actually go into heaven smelling like fire and brimstone. And what that references is like you still smell like hell.
Wow.
Right? Hell is fire, right? And when people come into the church for the first time, they still look like they're worldly. They look like sinners. They look like they just came in from clubbing the night before. Because some of them have. Some of them will walk in at 10 o'clock in the morning, and they were out partying at a nightclub that night, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. But something called them to go into church that morning, so they come in smelling like cigarettes and booze. But we got to give them grace, because it takes time to go from that to being clean, to being salt. Right? So like our main purpose is to be salt and light to others, right?
Yeah.
And some people are farther along the process of understanding that, of not being judgy, of not being comparing, themselves with others, upmen, it's easy to get caught up into like all of that stuff, all the things. And we love hierarchy. Yeah, humans love hierarchy, and so like, I've been here for 5 years, so I'm the Sunday school teacher, So like all this hierarchy stuff, but remember
the pastor,
and this is what happened with the 12 disciples or the 11 disciples with Jesus, and Jesus said, "Look at me, I am Jesus, and I cleaned your feet." He's like, the one who is the least of these will be the greatest of these in heaven. So you've got to be humble. Follow Jesus' model that he did for us. Wash people's feet. Be the servant, not the leader. That's God's message to us. That's why he came to earth. He said, I came here from my kingdom to show you how to be a servant to others. Our job is to serve others. That's it. Drop the microphone.
That's great.
Be humble.
Great.
You know what I mean?
So much selfishness.
Yeah. But listen, if you're caught up in that, then and you see somebody caught up in that, give them grace.
Yeah.
Right? We have to practice non-judgment.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Practice non-judgment. I give you grace wherever you are. Whether you come in smelling like fire and brimstone or you're like working on like your hierarchy.
Yes.
I love you all.
Yeah.
Love them all.
Yeah.
Love them all. Love them where they are.
They have the ability to change.
Because if you love them all and you model Jesus for them, right? Then you're helping them and progress. If I turn my back against you, I can't help you, right? Like, geez, you're like, oh man, you really just don't get it yet, I can't help you. I'm just go talk to somebody else. Like I can't, that's not. I'm not like Jesus if I do that. What do you think Jesus was thinking when he was like bumping into people and they're doing stupid things? Like he was probably thinking, you just don't get it yet.
Like, you guys really have no idea.
You're my disciples, and you don't get it yet. You know what I mean? You guys are the closest to me, and you still don't get it yet. Just forget all that stuff. Put the salt on the meat because it refreshes it. It keeps it fresh, right, and healthy, and it also makes it taste better. Be that. Be the salt.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome, man. I love Jeremiah's messages. It's so relevant today. It's like it's like 2,500 years ago. This stuff was going on, and that message was written back then to be applicable today in what we're going on. What's going on now? If you read that like during the Pilgrim era, it would not be applicable really, like because everybody was like trying to be righteous,
Yeah.
So like everybody was trying to be righteous.
Exactly.
They're not trying to be righteous. They're trying to do the opposite of being righteous. Nobody wants to walk around like a pilgrim and be like, oh, I'm perfect. I'm perfect. I'm perfect. Oh, God bless you. I'm so perfect. You need to be more perfect. You know, I'm gonna have to give you a scarlet letter because you had sex.
Oh my gosh.
You heathen. They were really trying to be perfect. And now, like,
there's a couple of them, so surviving.
there's a few around still.
There's a
Right?
couple.
Like, I mean, gosh, you know, it's
that's
just
funny.
they stick out like a sore thumb because that's not our society anymore. Our society's like way
now it's the complete opposite.
The pendulum has swung to the opposite direction.
It's on the other side now.
Yeah. So like we need the pendulum to come back to the middle. You know, that would be nice. But we don't know what's gonna happen because we don't have crystal balls.
No.
So we can't see the future. We don't know what's gonna happen. But I can tell you that message 2,500 years ago
still applies today.
It applies more now than it has in a long while.
Yes, you're right.
I don't know, but you know, I hope you guys are vibing off of this because we're in synchronicity today, man. And this message is coming to you for a reason.
Exactly.
You know, we're just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Hope it helps you today. All right, so Entrefluential tip of the day. Man, I'm sorry. I just like talked.
No, it's good. We're on the
your message was great, man.
That was great.
I love when you get dived into it too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you have, I can see in your eyes, like they sparkle up. Your face gets excited when you have these epiphanies while you're going through the message. I'm like, dude, that's so awesome. And then you're like, oh yeah, I need to watch David Jeremiah some more. I love all that stuff. And by the way, you don't have to watch it at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. You can watch it anytime because there's replays on YouTube, you know, which is awesome. So like if you're at home, you're like, oh, I can't get into the Sunday morning vibe. Well, then watch it on Saturday night, man. Or watch it on Tuesday afternoon. Just watch it. You know, it's there, man. You know what I mean? Listen, if you want to become an English teacher, you go to college and you read a bunch of literature to become an English teacher. That's what I did to become an English teacher. Okay? If you want to know about doing good deeds, like get out of the evil stuff and get into the good stuff, then go to church or watch it on TV, man. Yep. Learn this stuff, you know, because that's how you're gonna get better. That's how you live a better lifestyle. I can tell you from 2007 when I like went all in on studying the Bible and read the whole Bible from cover to cover over a 2-year period. Let me tell you, my life changed completely. I felt like I just read the best book, and I still believe this to this day. From in 2023, I still believe that out of all the books I've read in my life, the Bible is the most helpful book I've ever read. It's the most wise book, full of instruction. And it is there to lift you up and to remind you that God loves you and he's got your back and you're never alone because you got him. You know, he made us. He created us. It's an understanding. Like if you just look at life and all of the information that you can gather from all kinds of different sources and try to make sense of it all, the Bible helps you make sense of everything. And if you think about Jesus' story, his story, history is his story. Yeah. From the beginning of time to today, mankind has understood that something greater created us. Yeah. And if you believe that, then you should probably want to dive deeper into understanding why and how and what we're doing and what's the purpose of it all and where's all this going. And the Bible is a direction, an instruction manual to understand all that. Mm-hmm. That's from what I've understood. And one of the classes that I took, because I was curious, am I studying the right message? Wow. And so I did a course called Religions of the World when I was at St. Leo University while I was in the Navy back in 1999, 2000, around that time period. And so I studied a summary of all the different religions of the world: Buddhism, Taoism, Judaism, Catholicism, and like all of these different things, right? Just combining them together, just looking at a summary, and then it just everything makes sense for me because it's out of all of them, it's the only religion where God actually claimed, like Jesus was here on earth, and he actually the only person that claims I am God. Like Muhammad never claimed he was God. Wow. He claimed he was a messenger. He came 600 years after Jesus. Wow. He was the only one who claimed with full authority that he is God. You know, because he's God incarnate. He was God on earth. God on earth. God as a man. God with us. Emmanuel. God with us. Mm-hmm. And he left. He was crucified, but he woke up. He rose, which showed that he overcame death. He always had the ability to overcome death because he created life. Yeah. And then he sent his messenger, which is him, the Holy Spirit, to live inside of us. and he still lives in us to this day. So like when you see, I think really when you see people do good deeds, you're seeing God working through us when we do these good deeds. I don't think we can do them on our own. You know what I mean? We're all connected. We're all connected. There's this big spider web connecting us all, and that's God, because everything's in His thoughts. You think about your thoughts. Think about all the thousands of things that happen in your mind, right? All of these things that are happening. Well, all of the things that are happening around us, like what's happening here, what's happening in China, what's happening in Japan, it's all in God's mind. You know, He created everything. It's all it's up here. So if it's all up here in Him, then we're all connected. Yeah. Because we're all in the same space. Exactly. In His thoughts, right? And I'm not a quantum physics person, but I can look at quantum physics from a bird's eye view and say, yeah, that makes perfect sense to me because that's how God created everything. Yeah. You know, like it's all transcendent, it's all connected. It's non-linear. If you look at the infinity sign, it's always constantly going backwards and forwards. We're linear, you know, we're born, we die. Yeah. We have a linear life, but then we're eternal spirits, and so we can live on forward. Maybe maybe some of us were here in a past life, and maybe some of the things that happened in your life this time is a reflection of something that happened. We don't have that understanding. We don't need that understanding. It's just a curiosity. But we do know that there were some reincarnations, right? Elijah came back, right, to earth. They said that John the Baptist was Elijah reincarnated. So in the Bible, right? So like, I think there was one other example in the Bible. I have to Nebuchadnezzar or something like that. But I think there's two examples of reincarnation in the Bible. So I think it's possible, but there's not enough information about it in the Bible for us to be concerned about it. If it happened, great. If some of your things like your deja vu, maybe your deja vu was you visualizing the future in your dreams, and then when it happened, you're like, whoa, I've been here before. Oh, this happened. That's because true. You were vision casting your future, and now it came to manifestation. Or maybe you went to a place and you're like, wow, I feel like I've been here before. Maybe it was because you were here in a past life and God brought you back to do some more activities here. Maybe you had a choice. I don't know. We don't know. Yeah, it's all a big mystery.
I've heard of of theories like that.
Yeah.
It could also be like maybe you had to learn a couple different things this time.
That's what they say. You know, I've heard that too. Like you have lessons to learn and you're gonna keep coming back until you learn it all. Yes. But the timeline is still like we're still here. And then there's a future Earth in the future, and we just haven't gotten there yet because we know that we haven't gotten there yet because there's still sin on the Earth. Yep. But there might be a future. There is a future. That's what the Bible talks about, or it's going to be recreated. Anyway, I'm like diving deep into this rabbit hole, but and I don't even know where I'm going with it all. But I know where I'm going. Let me circle back. Of all the books I've read, the Bible is the greatest instruction book. Yep. And if you feel like picking up the book and reading it is a little bit challenging to you, because it is. It's really challenging, especially if you're not used to the literature. The same thing happened when I went to law school. A lot of content. When I went to law school, I was lost, man, because the language is different. It took me like 6 hours to read 2 pages. Because it was different. The language, the communication is not how we talk on a daily basis. Yeah. So that's why watching it on TV, on YouTube, listening to a pastor like Dr. Dave Jeremiah
understandable.
is so easy.
He breaks it down and translates it.
In plain English, man. Yes. And we need it in plain English, and that's a great place to get it in plain English.
Because the Bible's like, thou shalt not have done this. Yeah. Whatever, and you're like,
and some people are like,
you shouldn't do this.
Right.
It's how we would talk today.
Right.
But they add a few extra words.
He gives some simple analogies.
Yes, exactly.
Right. And there's no thee and thou. That's the King James Bible. Yeah. It's old. It's dated. Pick up a new version, man. Pick up the NIV or the CSV. There's like many different variations. Yep. And all of it helps you to understand the message. Exactly. This is the first 2 formats were Koine Greek and Hebrew. If you want to go back and dissect those and do translations, you'll get more interpretation. If you open up a book, a dictionary, and look up a word, and look at the synonyms, there's like 5 or 6 or 8 or 9 different ways to say the same message, right? And so these Bible books are like synonyms, right? There's just like a thesaurus with a bunch of synonyms. Look at it in different ways. Yes. But watch the videos, man. It's the easiest way to absorb it.
That's how you can start.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words. Yeah. Right? A video is 28 frames per second. 28 pictures per second. So you know that watching videos is like a whole lot more words in action. Your mind can comprehend videos a whole lot better. So watch the YouTube videos.
It makes it more fun too to watch. Just like you're watching TV, you're more relaxed.
And you can watch it when you want. Exactly. Watch it when you want.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so
that was great.
I'm gonna go real fast on this Entrefluential tip of the day. So I have gotten exposed to, and I heard about this before, containers, shipping containers, and turning shipping containers into homes. So I started doing some research, and the reason why is because while I was doing Uber this weekend, we had the TPC, which is the Players Club. It's a tournament for golfers here in Ponte Vedra Beach. It was this weekend. I'm driving people back and forth, and one of my passengers was talking to me about how he converted a shipping container into a home for his daughter and her boyfriend, right?
Wow.
And so when he was explaining the process of how he prepared it, I was so excited about it, man. I asked him, like, how much money are those shipping containers, right? So he said, well, back then when he bought them, they were only $750 used shipping containers. But now, and he said, now they're about $3,000. So I got curious and I went online and I found that you can buy, you can buy some used shipping containers for about $2,300. But you could buy a brand new one that hasn't been used for $5,000.
Wow.
Right? A 40-foot by, I think it's by 8 feet, 40 by 8 shipping container. So I have a picture of what one of these shipping containers, like combining them together, you can build turn it into a property, right?
Yes.
And
and some people combine multiple, even a couple more of them, and they make even bigger.
Let me see. I'm gonna try.
So many ways.
I'm gonna pull this up over on the camera, and you tell me if it looks good.
That looks great.
Isn't that look? See, there's one here. There's a smaller one there, and another one along this here, and a smaller one over there that's turned into a garage. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shipping containers, and it's turned into a farmhouse.
Wow!
Isn't that awesome?
Wow!
Look at that fireplace there.
That's
and
amazing.
So you're looking at look. This is like $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 for the shipping containers. And then all your interior fixtures, you're like $80,000, $100,000. You can have this property, right? And $100,000 is like a $600 a month mortgage payment.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, if you have this property, how much do you think you can rent this property out? Let's say it has 5 bedrooms.
I can make triple my rent, my mortgage payment.
$600? Oh my God! You could probably be making $3,000, right?
Exactly.
Right? Maybe more.
I'll pay that off and then have extra passive income coming in.
Absolutely. Imagine if you had 10 of these. Okay. Imagine if you're making $2,000 a month on 10 of these. You're making $20,000 a month. That's $240,000 a year.
That's amazing.
Right. Let me show you guys the picture. You tell me if it shows up okay on the camera.
All right.
Tell me if it looks good.
A little bit closer. Yeah, it's coming in good. A little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more. Yep.
Okay, guys. If you count, you can see, look, there's one storage container here. There's another one, smaller one here. There's another one going long ways over here. And there's one over there that looks like a garage. And there's one more on the top. So I'm counting 5 storage containers. If you bought 5 storage containers at $5,000 a piece, you're looking at $25,000 for the containers. Then you have to do the interior work. So let's just say that you spent, you spent $50,000 to $50,000 to $60,000 for the interior fixtures. And then so like now you're at $75,000, $80,000. And then the land, you buy the land. I was looking online, doing my research. I looked here in Florida. I went on to Zillow, and I put vacant land, maximum price $25,000. And I put let me see if I can pull it up here. Vacant land, maximum $25,000. Here's some examples. Look at this 1 acre lot. So, and I put minimum 1 acre. Here's one in Williston, Florida for $19,000.
Wow.
Right? Here's another one. 11,000, 2.5 acres.
Wow.
St. Cloud, Florida for $11,600 for 2.5 acres.
Wow.
Here's another one for $15,000. 1.1 acres in Grand Ridge, Florida.
Wow.
$15,000. Here's another one, 2.5 acres, $18,500. Punta Gorda, Florida. Here's another one, Bartow, Florida, $18,000 for 1.25 acres.
Wow.
So look at this, $25,000 for the storage containers, $18,000 for a 2 acre lot. So you're at $45,000, and then put another $50,000 into all the bells and whistles inside.
Yeah.
Wood flooring, stainless steel appliances, butcher block kitchen cabinets, platform beds. Okay, $50,000 into it, and then so let me show you. I don't know if I have it on this phone. I don't. Okay, I did a loan calculator. I have a loan calculator on my phone.
Yeah.
And so I did it for $80,000, an $80,000 loan at 7% interest because interest rates are high right now. So I went 7%. You can probably get for 5 or 6, but I put 7% interest just to be conservative, right?
Yeah.
$80,000 at 7%. The payment's like $500 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. So like for a $100,000 loan, you're looking at probably like $650.
Wow.
So for $650 a month, and now if you're outside of the state of Florida and you're watching this and you're like you've been thinking about buying a property in Florida, you're looking at houses and new construction properties start at $300,000, and they go up to like over $1 million, right?
Yeah.
The average is $300,000 or $400,000 for a brand new property, right? And then you're in a subdivision and you're like 5 feet away from the next house. You have no big yard, no space, no privacy. I mean, hey, if you want to live in a resort that's in a country club community, that's fine. That's great. You would be in a subdivision, that's fine. But if you value privacy and if you want land, if maybe you want to have a rural property where you can have a farm. Okay, if you have a 1-acre lot, you can put some animals on there. You can have some chickens that make eggs, so you have to go pay $4 a gallon carton for a dozen eggs. Crazy. You can get them for free in your yard with your chicken coop.
I wanted to do that.
You can have a couple of pigs, and then now you got your bacon. You know, you can go cheese. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be a gentleman farmer. You can do a garden and have grow vegetables, tomatoes. You can do your own little like chives and stuff. You know, peppers, jalapenos,
everything.
You know? Oh my God. It's great. Tomatoes, oranges, lemons, and limes. Right? You can make you can grow some limes. So you can throw a piece of lime in your rum and coke.
Yes.
Or your margarita.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's so freaking awesome because you can have 1 to 2 acres. And look, all of this for like $100,000 to have that beautiful house that I just demonstrated to you.
Yeah.
And if you're getting started, and I found this one, just one 40 by 8 container. Mm-hmm. It was painted like gunmetal black, like the guitar here. And then like I showed you that picture, right? Yeah. And it had this beautiful wood deck all the way across the front. With flowers hanging on these little whatever you call those pods.
Oh, you know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then some, and then it had candles on the deck, the wood deck. What a beautiful property! And if you want to look what I'm talking about, go to bobscontainers.com and look up the Joshua. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to watch some videos about how to frame out the container, there's some great. I'm gonna give a shout out to these guys in Canada. It's called The Container Guy. Look him up on YouTube, The Container Guy, and watch his videos. It's so insightful, man. It's so amazing. So today I was watching a video where he took 2 of the 40-foot containers. Yeah. He cut the wall out in the middle and combined them together and it sealed them together, man. So
that's so cool.
He like reinforced the structure so they wouldn't because when you take the walls off, it weakens the structure, right? So like your roof could cave in, your floor could cave in. So they did these reinforcements by welding these extra bars, and then they sealed it together, right? Wow. So now instead of 40 by 8, you've got 40 by 16, double the space. It's like a double wide trailer. Wow. Double the space, and I love that because that's what I want to do. Exactly. I want to do that. I want to take 2 containers, combine them together so I have like that huge space. Yep. That way I can have a master bedroom, full-size master bedroom, with a master bathroom with a shower and a tub and dual sinks. Yeah. So that's an option for you guys. And look, like I said, you can buy a brand new one for $5,000. Yeah. So for 2, it's only $10,000. That company, the Container Guys up in Canada, they will do all the structural engineering for you, and then they'll ship it to you. I don't know what their fees are. I'm going to inquire. Because look, if it's only $10,000 to buy the 2 containers, how much more will it be for them to retrofit it for you? Exactly. And then ship it. Probably maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Yeah. It's worth it. Yeah. It's absolutely worth it to have all that stuff done for you. Exactly. If I can do it myself, I'm going to do it because I want pride of ownership. Yeah. I just want to take on a task. I want to be a man's man. And I want to do this stuff myself. Yeah. I'm going to figure out how to do the welding. Yeah. I'm going to cut my windows out. Yeah. And frame it up. Oh, yeah. And that way, when I'm done, I say, I built this with my own hands. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's exciting. Oh, yeah. So, like, if you do that, if you just take the 40-foot one, the Joshua, like on bobscontainers.com, and do a format like that, you can turn that into an Airbnb rental, right?
Yes.
And so like if you're renting that sucker out for, I don't know what you can rent, what the going rates are for the area that you're going to put it in, but let's just say ballpark figure you earn $2,000 a month on it. If your payments on it, if you do financing on it, and your payments are only $500 a month, and you make $2,000 a month on renting it out like an Airbnb vacation rental, then you're making $1,500 a month profit.
Yeah. And
if you do that 10 times, then after your taxes and whatever random expenses are, you're gonna net $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
$10,000 a month times 12 is 120 grand a year. So if you do that 10 times, do the work yourself. Again, $5 grand to buy a container.
Yep.
Lots for like 10 grand.
Oh yeah.
And do that 10 times,
yep.
then you're making 120 grand a year passive income.
Oh yeah.
Passive. I mean, very little management on there.
Exactly.
Yourself. You know what I mean?
6 figures.
Six figures being a real estate investor.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So that's our Entrepreneurship tip of the day. You want to make six figures income passive? Start investing in container homes.
Yes, I love it. Oh yeah.
So that's our plan. That's my plan. Like now, like I'm gonna just get the first one going, man.
Exactly. Press it out.
And as soon as that was done, like move to the next one.
Yep.
And the next one.
For the next one.
And the one. And like after I did this first one, like I want to do the Joshua style.
Yep.
But the very next one I'm gonna do is the one that I showed you. Which guys, I wish I could show you the picture of it right now. It's on that phone over there.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Twilight home.
Yes.
Like Edward Cullen's house in Twilight. That's what it looks like.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
So gorgeous.
It was amazing.
So yeah, man, I love the container homes. Hey Greta, how are you? Hey, I'm so glad that you came on. So that's it, man. That's the Entrefluential tip of the day.
Yeah, we did. We hit the physical tip of the day, mental, spiritual, and entrefluential.
Yep. All right, man. So that's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
You got anything else today, man?
No, that's it. That's it for now.
Very cool. Well, then I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm sorry that we went a little long again. It's 8:43. But since we started off a little late, we had to make up for it anyways, right?
Yep,
So we're good.
Oh yeah.
All right. So guys, I hope you all have a fantastic week. What's really important is that if you're pursuing entrepreneurship, it's really important for you to keep moving the ball forward, even if the steps are small. And the way that you do that, the way that you build your business up, is you need to be omnipresent. You need to do omnipresent marketing. You need to amplify your message. Our message at the end of the show always is go out there and amplify your message, right? The reason why is because if nobody knows who you are, if you're not like waving a flag and saying, hey, I got lemonade,
nobody's going to know.
They won't know to buy your lemonade.
Never.
So you need to amplify your message. One way to do that, if you're not podcasting, we have 10 pillars of entrepreneurial success. I'm working on a new guide. I was actually working on that before the show today.
Nice.
I'm just combining all the 10 pillars and a handout that people can download.
Great.
And I'm going to put that on the entrefluencer.club website for people to grab. So like it'll probably be ready tomorrow or the next day. Check back in a couple of days. Tomorrow, I'm actually starting the 3-day challenge for affiliate marketing.
Nice.
Yes. So in the morning, I'm going to come on and I'm going to the entrefluencer.club. And I'm going to post on there in our Facebook group, right?
Yep.
In our Facebook group, I'm going to post day 1 of a 3-day affiliate marketing challenge. So I'm challenging you guys. If you don't have any affiliate accounts, look at the affiliate links that I have inside of the show notes on this video, right? That's going to give you a demonstration. What you could do is you could copy that I posted for our show notes today. You can go and create those affiliate accounts. And tomorrow I'll remind you of this in the challenge, right? Yeah. But I want you to create at least 3 affiliate accounts to get started because you need to plant the seeds today for your tree tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? And so all of these videos are going to live on besides today, right? And beyond today. And what you're doing is you're putting, like, let's just imagine that every video is a salesperson. You're putting 1,000 salespeople out there to be pitching you and what you got to offer out there all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So that when somebody comes along in the future, they'll look at the video, they'll click on the link, and they'll order something, and you get credit for it. You earn money for those links that are attached to it. That's what affiliate marketing is. And you can hire other affiliates to sell your stuff that you create, whether it be sandals or workout gear, protein shakes, which we plan on doing.
Yeah.
And
anything.
Anything, products or services. So it's important for you to have an understanding of affiliate marketing. If you're not already doing it, join us in the challenge for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so you can partake in that and start amplifying your message and building passive income.
Yep.
And then start looking at the investing in real estate because regardless of what your business is, maybe there's somebody out here, Sebastian, that's like my age, 48 years old, going to be 49 in August, and they're like, you know what, I need a new career. I can't do what I'm doing anymore. I'm tired of it. I just don't have I don't have the love of it anymore.
Yeah.
And or maybe you're retired already, or maybe you're just getting started. Maybe you're Sebastian's age, or maybe you're like a few years younger than him, right? Maybe you're 18 years old. You're getting out of high school. You're working at McDonald's or at a gas station.
I did that.
And you're like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And so maybe you're thinking, I want to find a way. I want to be a spiritualist. I want to people on spirituality, or maybe you want to be a massage therapist, or maybe you want to be a art teacher or something, like passively, like teach people how to do, paint on canvas or paint by numbers or something like that, right? Something creative, What business is. There's multiple ways for you to generate income besides the thing that you're doing. Maybe that thing that you're doing you love, you're passionate about, but it doesn't pay a whole lot. Maybe it only pays $25,000 a year, on average, right? But you can make money by real estate, like what we were talking about with the shipping container. You can invest in these properties that pay you $100,000 a year, and now you're free to do what you love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a great place to be. Maybe you want to be a writer, and you have to it takes time to build your audience up, right?
Yeah.
So you're creating content. Maybe it takes you a year to write your romance novel, right? It took me about that long to write my romance novella. A novella is shorter than a novel. It's about 100-some pages. And you know what? I gave away over 5,000 copies to people around the world when I did my promotion on Amazon back in 2012.
Wow.
But I only got a few sales. People were happy to read it because I'm a new writer at the time. Yeah. People were happy to read it for free. But to pay for it and you're new, it's really difficult to make a sell.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you want to build your audience up. And if you love the art of writing, then you probably should give away a lot of your content for free to build up that tribe of followers, right? Build your audience up. And so how are you going to pay the bills when you're building up your audience, Exactly. If you want to be a creative writer. I chose to go a different route. I love writing nonfiction more than I love writing fiction. And that's why I'm continuing to publish several books. I've already published a few. Sebastian and I have one that's coming out soon. It's called the 10 Pillars of Entrefluential Success. We've already written, but we need to go back and polish it and edit it and do some rewriting. But it's already done. The first draft was already done. I love doing this. This is his first publication. You got to start somewhere, and wouldn't it be nice to have some income? Imagine if you're already making $10,000 a month with your investment properties.
Nice. Oh yeah.
Right, while you're doing these creative things, right? Building up your brand, your gems.
Yeah.
He wants to open up his own gym, have his own protein shakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, meals.
Protein meal planning and stuff.
Yeah.
So like all of these
available 24 hours.
A clothing brand. Like if you're in the personal fitness space, there's so many different things that you can do. You can own your own gym.
Yes. We
talked about that, like how awesome it would be to own your own gym right here in the mall.
That'd be amazing.
Where we live.
Yeah.
So like there's so many cool things you could do, but you need money to do all these things. And so like look at affiliate marketing to start generating income for yourself. And look at real estate investing to generate income for yourself. So the 10 pillars gives you ideas on how to do all of these 10 different things to make money for your business, whatever your business is.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, in the future, we're going to be sharing information on leadership and finance and human resources and customer service. These are things that make a business move and grow. There's actually 9 different areas that a mature business has, and that's in our supplement. That's in the next course. Up course 3, business growth plan.
Yes.
So that's another course we're working on,
which I need to finish.
That you can that will be available for you guys to use. Supplemental income strategy is the one that you're finishing.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Those are 6 supplemental. Right. Those are 6 ways you can add additional income to your business, like coaching and consulting, for instance. But anyways, the point is that there's so much to learn. But don't expect to learn everything in the beginning before you start. start and learn as you grow.
Exactly. Absolutely. I agree.
That's all I got,
man. That's how you do it. You just start. You get better that way, and by you just starting it,
and you get better by having people around you that can help you, give you positive critique, sharpen your saw, learn what's working with other people, right? That's why we created the Facebook group, so that we can be together in the tribe, and we can learn from each other, right? And like test things out and share it with the group and say, hey, look, check out this lead magnet. Do you guys like this?
Yes. Exactly.
Basically that's what I'm doing right now is creating a lead magnet to get people on my email list to help nurture them and eventually make sales into my courses, our courses, the books and that kind of stuff, Give value and you make money back in return. You help people out, see a need, fill a need.
Exactly.
All right. Anyways, all this to say, add multiple revenue streams to your business so that you can do what you love, not what you have to do. Right. And amplify your message because that's going to help you get clients. You have to be omnipresent. You have to be available somewhere.
Yeah.
In order for people to know who you are, to start to like you and to trust you. When they trust you, they'll buy from you.
Yep. Exactly.
Know, like, and trust. You got to always be working on know, like, and trust. And the way you do that is by communication. Yeah. Anyways, look in the next couple of days for the 10 Pillars of Entrepreneurship Success guide. That'll help you understand how you can amplify your message so that you can get people to build a relationship with you and then to start buying from you. And then join us tomorrow for the Affiliate Marketing Challenge. That's all I've got. I'm losing my voice.
All right. We'll finish it off.
Yep.
Go out there
and amplify your message. Bye. God bless you all. Love you guys. Take care. Bye. Bye, Greta. Thanks for being out here. We love you. See you soon. And by the way, you looked really awesome in your scuba gear, man. I saw that picture. It was online. It was on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Wow.
Yeah. Great job, Greta. Hope you're doing well. All right. See you guys. Bye, everybody. Bye, John Paul. See ya.